This mistake is so terrible. I would rather go to the DMV for fun. And the worst part is so many people make this single mistake. What is going on today? I am sharing mistakes to avoid when you visit Universal's Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras has three components. There is food, which takes place every single day of Mardi Gras. There's the parade, which takes place almost every night. And then there is concerts, which are select nights, mostly Saturdays during the event. My first mistake to avoid has to do with the food. So most of the Mardi Gras food is right behind me, what they used to call the French Quarter. I don't think call it that anymore, but it's the area between Transformers and Mummy. And it has the most kind of like Mardi Gras food you'd expect. There's some good options here. There's a blackened chicken po' boy, which I like a lot, but my first mistake to avoid is only going to this area for Mardi Gras food. Explore the other areas around the park, like the ice cream stand. It's not an ice cream stand technically, but it's a fusion stand, and they have great ice cream options. Ube ice cream, actually, to be specific. And there's also a vegetarian stand, which a lot of our team really enjoyed as well, and that's over by Animal Actors. Moving right along, mistake number 2 to avoid, especially on weekends. I'm visiting on a Monday, so it isn't quite as bad today, but especially on weekends, you do not want to visit the food behind me. So this is the same food area I was just talking about, the French Quarter kind of food. You do not want to visit when the parks are about to close. So right around the concert and parade is not the time to visit these food stands. That's when they're at the busiest. Earlier in the day, they are a lot less busy. They're not so bad today, again, because it's a weekday, but I would definitely avoid them around 7 on a weekend for sure. Going to be the busiest. The next mistake to avoid is using cash or a credit card to purchase any food at Universal during Mardi Gras. So if you're visiting during Mardi Gras season, they sell Universal Mardi Gras food and beverage cards. At any of the stands that sell Mardi Gras food, you can get this gift card essentially, but it only works for food and beverage. But it works at Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, or Volcano Bay, and City Walk, and it never expires. So they sell 2 versions of this, a $60 version, which gets you $70 worth of food, or a $120 version, which gets you $150 worth of food. So if you have a large family, you're going to spend $150 worth during your whole visit here, you're getting 20% off your food, essentially, just by purchasing one of these cards. And again, you can use it anywhere at Universal besides the hotels, and it never expires. Not just Mardi Gras food, any food. So I should note, as usual in the mistakes to avoid videos, I am saving the worst mistake to make for last. This mistake is so terrible. I would rather go to the DMV for fun than make this mistake. And the worst part is so many people make this single mistake when they visit Universal Mardi Gras. You'd have to be a joker to make this mistake. So keep watching to the end of the video to find out what it is. So this isn't something that I would do if I only had one day at Universal, but if you're visiting for multiple days and you're looking for something extra to do, they do have the Crew Crawl. So what this is it's $10, and you can purchase it at any of the participating stores, which are most stores at Universal. And then you go around to each store, and it's stamped, and then when you see, it looks like this. Here, I'll show you. It looks just like this, and then when you get it stamped at each store, you get a mask for visiting all the locations. And it is $10, $10.65 with tax. And then each one has a little bit of a story to go along with it. So this one says, the inhabitants of... I'm not going to try. Tip the scales when it comes to partying on their home planet. Visitors will have a hysterical good time celebrating Mardi Gras here. Pretty cool little extra thing to do, just again, if you have the extra time. I saw the Bourne one earlier as well. That's the 5 and Dine gift shop, and it looks cool as well. Do not make the mistake of not visiting the Tribute Store. As you may or may not know, the Tribute Store is located right next to Revenge of the Mummy in New York, and it changes based on when you're visiting. So right now it is a Mardi Gras theme for Mardi Gras, and it will never be this exact theme again. So next year's Mardi Gras will have a different Tribute Store theme. This year's is a float factory. Let's go inside and see what we can get into. So they started doing these tribute stores a few years ago. You can see here's some concept renderings actually for this year's, and they get more and more complex every year. So it's really cool to see the evolution of these tribute stores. And again, like I said, this one is a float factory and prop warehouse. Another thing I love is they have Earl's safety tips throughout the tribute store. So keep an eye out. There's lots of safety tips. And it's, of course, a reference to Earl the squirrel. Of course, he's been hidden in the Christmas tree for years and years. So it's cool to see him live on for Mardi Gras. I'm excited to see him return this Christmas season. There's also tons of photo ops in the tribute store. So you can see there's a HHN bear. So you can sit in a throne and get a photo with the bear. This is neat. You can see photos from all kinds of past years of Mardi Gras. This is from the front gate of Universal Studios. They don't do it like this anymore. And of course, you have tons of Mardi Gras merchandise here. You've got a Mardi Gras jacket, Mardi Gras coffee mug, buttons, pins, lanyards, anything you could want that's Mardi Gras themed. Another mistake I see people frequently make, I would definitely plan out, maybe before you visit, like while you're watching this video, think about where you're going to watch the parade from, and then you want to get there, depending on the day, maybe like 20 minutes early. Again, if you're visiting in the middle of spring break, it's going to be a little busier than like right now on a Monday. One of my favorite spots, I'm going to show you a couple, but this is one of my favorites, right down Hollywood. So it comes down Hollywood first. I'm basically right in front of the Bourne Stuntacular, so this corner here, like between the Bourne gift shop and the Bourne Stuntacular, I think is one of my favorite places to watch the Mardi Gras parade. This is my other favorite spot. I usually pick the first one over this spot, but what's really cool about this spot right behind me, and it's right in front of Horror Makeup essentially. I'd probably be on the other side of the street actually if I was gonna watch the parade here. But what's cool about this spot is that you can get double the beads. So the parade enters and exits through this gate right here, next to Pantages Theater, which is the theater Horror Makeup's in. So you can get double the beads because if you stay in this spot, once the parade passes you, it loops back around and passes you again. So double the beads for the same price. The Mardi Gras floats are actually designed in collaboration with Kern Studios out of New Orleans, who's been doing it, I believe, since 1931. So quite a while to be doing Mardi Gras floats. So they're really authentic, elaborate floats. And like I said, this year's theme is Planet Mardi Gras. The first new float is called Liftoff. So it's grounded in our solar system, really. There's a moon, there's an American flag on the moon, and you can see a giant rocket ship. The next parade float is the Volcano planet, and this is when we get into Mardi Gras colors. This float is all purples with some green lava, and it's got a funky spaceship on the front of it, and you see some like Martian alien type people walking in front of it. Then there is the Floral planet, which is very green. So the last one was purple, this one's very green, and it has oversized plant life, and there is a biological type spaceship on the front. And then you see the Machine planet. This is probably my personal favorite. This is really cool. It is gold, and my favorite detail of this one is there is audio on board. So if you're familiar with the Mardi Gras parade, one of the songs that gets really stuck in your head is Feet Don't Fail Me Now. So there is a off-tempo robot version of Feet Don't Fail Me Now on the Machine float. There's two more actually, so then you get to the Comet cruising. This one really draws attention. I think it's most people's favorites. It's got flames on the top of it, and so you're cruising along the comets essentially, and you can see all the different spaceships they found along the way on this one, so they're all collected together. Then finally, you reach Planet Mardi Gras. So what's most unique about Planet Mardi Gras, and I don't think they've ever done this for Mardi Gras before, is you see all of the characters you previously saw in the parade again, but this time they're really decked out for Mardi Gras. So all of the characters you met at the different planets have now come together to Planet Mardi Gras. They've got their Mardi Gras gear on, and there is a robot Queen and King, which is pretty cool as well. If you're visiting on a concert night and you want to see the parade and the concert, it takes a little bit more planning. So this is a mistake I see people make. They pick a parade spot where they can't get to the concert viewing area easily. The best spot to see both is actually right here where I'm standing. So on the Music Plaza right here, you can stand here, watch the parade, and then turn around and go to the concert viewing area really easily. So this is the spot I'd recommend right in front of Monsters Cafe if you're looking to do both on the same night. And again, concerts are only select nights. If you're wondering who is performing or if there is a concert when you're visiting, you can pause the screen right now for the Mardi Gras concert lineup. Gavin DeGraw, Jason Derulo, those are some of the coolest artists that are performing, but it depends on your taste. I think MASHMALLOW will be one of the busiest. Bare Naked Ladies, I think that's a cool act as well. Hey, it's me. If you're enjoying the video, make sure you subscribe. Thank you. Here it is, the biggest mistake that I see people make at Universal's Mardi Gras. This is a crazy mistake, and it's a mistake that most people, in my opinion, at the park make. I think most people visiting today are gonna make this mistake. So, what the mistake is not riding on a Mardi Gras float. Now, I will say, if you're riding on a float, you're not gonna be able to watch the parade, obviously, but riding on a Mardi Gras float is one of the most fun things you can do at Universal. I think any time of the year, honestly. So, the easiest way to do it is on the Universal app. Download the Universal app and then go to Mardi Gras float riding, and then beginning at noon until 1 hour before the parade, check for virtual times for Mardi Gras float riding. Throughout the day, they'll release different spots. There's a very limited number of spots. You have to be 18 or with a parent, and you have to be over 48 inches. However, so you get a spot on the app, and then eventually you'll go over to Animal Actors, is where they do the prep work, but they'll make you sign a waiver, and they'll go over some details, and then you get to go backstage, which not a lot of people get to do at Universal, and then you get to climb on a float and throw out beads. You have to throw them out one at a time. They ask you to do it underhanded, but it is a lot of fun to throw beads to different guests watching the parade. I know it sounds kind of basic or lame, but it is really fun. You can actually, they're preparing for this right now, and you can hear the cheering in the background, but it is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite things to do every year at Universal, so you definitely have to do that. If you enjoyed this video, I have another video you'll really like. I tried everything at Universal's Mardi Gras, all the food with my friends, and we share our favorite food items. So if you're visiting Mardi Gras, you definitely need to watch that video as well, and I'll see you there. Take care.